Tina, a teenager, no matter how hard she tried to fit in, with her peers and social standing always looking for a win. The mean girls at school, always so damn perfect, would bully and harass. Tina thought to herself she's had enough, and it was time to kick some ass. In a dusty old bookstore she came across a page, an old folklore that had been lost throughout many of age. A tale of the witch's wood, a tree so evil creating fright, told of its creation, history, magic words, location of sight. History told it became to be a witch was discovered in 1693. That wicked woman was tied and burned to such tree. Hundreds of years had long passed. The curse the witch uttered through the ages would last. As her hair burned, skin melted, and bones blackened and fused, the words came swift and strong from the abused. All shall suffer and feel the wrath of my curse. If you take from thee, my evil will disperse. Her last breath was drawn out and carried through the town. The witch's dark soul was now deep-rooted in the ground. No one go near, touch, or cut down the tree's wood. The incident was documented and passed down and understood. Villagers deliberate and made sure no one nears the tree. To this day it is fenced in and hard to get at in the town cemetery. Wrought iron fences so high and so strong, overgrown with vines that obscure what belong. Throughout the decades the occurrence faded and drifted to myth. Shrubbery covered the site into a tangled abyss. Peace seemed to grow across the town and farmlands, until the binded book ended up in Tina's hands. Tina's imagination wandered and a smile grew across her face with glee. She could finally live a happy life and be herself and abused free. She bought the book and quickly home she ran to start engaging in her sweet revenge plan. Backpack ready at the door on a full moon's night, with handsaw, switchblade, rope map, and flashlight. On her bike she rode to the cemetery to settle the score, eager to cut down the branch the witch will deliver chastise and bring much gore. Easier to find the old cursed tree than not, she cut through the shrubs and vines to reveal the witch's plot. Taking the handsaw, she placed it on a hanging branch. With every saw bite, Tina fell into a trance. She heard an embodied voice whisper, "Cut swift through the tree, for I will avenge thee. Blood will fill the town, for I'm released from my bound. In return I shall seek the one lonely and meek. Do my bidding, my familiar pet. Keep cutting, no regret." The saw finally broke through. Tina's anxiety grew. In the light of the flashlight glow, she noticed the branch started to bend and bow. A hand began to take form and shape. There was no time to hesitate. How would those girls meet their hostilities? Bruised and beaten or covered in bees? Tina chuckled to herself. At last she would get even. And finally she had that power Bully believed in. With sweaty palms she grabbed the hardcover and took a look. She spoke proudly the magic words that crafted the book. Wicked and wise, dead reckoning with cries, I conjure thy soul, regardless thy toll. Do thy bidding for thee, and I shall keep thee free. But the fate of the girls were much worse than she could believe. The witch would take their lives as the hand will conceive. As Tina slept and dreamt of the girls in happy distress, the family of the girls would wake to such frightfulness. They were stabbed and cut with an item so dull. Just to think what they went through would make your skin crawl. Crawl is what they did as best they could in agony and despair, still while they were alive pulled out clumps of the blood-stained hair. Jaws broken, necks twisted, branches stuck in eyes, skin torn from the flesh and placed in an obscure disguise. Hands and feet were tightly bound in the blood-bathed rooms where the girls were found. As Tina woke, she looked under the bed. No sign of the witch's hand soon led her to dread. That morning news told of such horror and fright. She was responsible for what happened last night. She could hardly catch her breath and fell to the floor when a strange sound caught her attention at the back door. She opened the door quickly and looked down. There was the branch laying on the ground. She picked it up shaking on demand. Then Tina observed her very own hands, for her nails were broken, chipped and bloody, scratched and sore and bruised and muddy. For a flash caught Tina, a vision, if you will, gave her a glimpse of last night's blood spill. She was the one who committed the mutilation. Tina wailed and wailed with heart and soul devastation.